Today we're carrying out a complete filter and spark plug service on the Nissan Cube. Now, despite being an unusual car, this is the 1.6 petrol, which should be found in the Nissan Note and Micra, and most of this should or could be the same. Got the full service kit in premium parts and even including the oil, totalled £110. We'll get an easy one out of the way while my hands are clean. So we've got the air filter. The airbox is here. I'll be squeezing the sides, these tabs here. This cover will pop off, and you've got this tray that carries the air filter. Give the airbox a vacuum if it needs it. So they're weird, these trays, because the cover pushes it up into position. That's it, that's the air filter. Now we move on to the oil. 14mm sump plug, no under tray, which is great for doing the service, but not so good for corrosion. That's me tightening it. I've got a new sump plug, so I don't mind letting this one just drop out. Oil filter, nice and easy to access at the front of the engine. Hopefully not too tight, so I might be able to undo it by hand, but we'll see. Just let the oil drain out for as long as possible. While I let the oil drain, I'm just going to quickly do the cabin filter, which after a quick look I'm not sure whether it's going to be the right one. Let's have a look. So there isn't actually any instructions with this one, but I have found where the filter seems to go. Maybe it is the right size, but it's a very small hole to pull it out of unless you access it from the other side. So just blanked on the driver's side, so definitely not accessed from this side. Which begs the question, why is it such a large filter through a small hole? Proven quite difficult to do this. thought it'd be quick, so I thought I'd get on with it, but obviously never works like that. So I'm going to remove the glove box quickly. There seems to be 3 screws at the bottom and 4 at the top. I'm stopping it now. Oh, 2 more screws inside. Plenty of screws holding this glove box on. Since we've got plenty of room, I'll leave this cable attached, and it's for the airbag anyway, so you're probably best off not removing it. So now we've got full view of the hole and filter, but still no clear as to why they've made it so awkward to do. Strange. Can't see any manufacturer or what we got. ACEA, Nissan. So this car's on 55,000 miles, so potentially that's the original filter. Or 59k, 55 or 59k, something like that. And we got airflow direction, right, so that was... Well, I think we can tell anyway, can't we? It was... all the muck was on that side, so... yeah. I'm assuming this tab should be on this side for helping to pull it out, so airflow that way. Squeeze that in there. Oh, much easier to fit that one. That's just sprung back into shape. And then refit the cap. Looks like I've broken that. Oh, no, I've broken that. Great. But yeah, that's the cap refitted, which I might have to get another one. And then if you have removed the glove box, then just refit the screws. And finally get back onto the filter. I might require a little bit of persuasion on this. Couldn't quite do it with my bare hands. It kind of feels like the seal hasn't been oiled. So it's not too tight, but it's just not slipping on the surface. It sounds dry. So this is probably what happens when you don't put oil on the new filter surface. But yeah, definitely shouldn't be that difficult to remove. There we go. It's a new filter. Just take the new filter, place it on the old one, and this will oil the new seal. And your fitting instructions are basically on the side of the filter, but you're tightening it up until the seal is touching, and then you only tighten it a further 3/4 of a turn. Check for leaks, and if you haven't got any leaks, then that's it. So spin it on until it's touching. So like that, now it's touching. Quarter, half, oh, maybe not even 3/4 of a turn we can get there, but that's about half a turn. And we'll check for leaks after. So, brand new sump plug. It comes with 2 washers, but I've never been able to get this second one to fit, the copper one. I've never seen one on them. Exactly the same washer as on the, well, exactly the same sump plug as on the Navara that I did the other week, being a Renault engine. So I refit the sump plug and tighten to 34 Newton meters. Clean everything off underneath. Capacity showing as 4.3 litres, so you can pretty safely add 4 to 4.2 litres and check the level. But this did drain out for a long time, so it probably will require the full amount. So I'll refit the filler cap, run the engine, check for leaks, and then place the car flat on the ground and switch it off for 10 minutes before checking the oil level. Make sure the oil light goes straight off. Down onto the ground So it looks like it's actually right at the top. So we've got just the right amount of oil in. There's a hatched area. You can't really see it on the camera very well, but that's the top end of it, that's the bottom end of it. So anywhere between here is fine, but closer to the top end, the better. Save the best till last, the fun bit, the spark plugs, which are under the intake manifold. So you need to undo the bolts that hold the intake manifold at the front. We need to either remove that or this one here, 8mm. We need to undo the pipe going to the throttle body. And possibly undo the throttle body, let's see. I'll get these out in the rear end bracket. Get this intake pipe out of the way as well. Two trim clips at the front. Oddly, it looks like you've got to actually remove the 4 bolts for the throttle body because you can't get to the bracket underneath. The bracket is directly underneath it. I can't see, currently I can't see another way to do it. And now after removing the throttle body you can get to these 10mm, or 8mm here or 10mm there. breather pipe at the back. That's not what's stopping it right now. Disconnect the breather at this side. Just leave the intake manifold out of the way. $10mm holding each coil in. Hopefully none of the coils are too stuck in. All looks good. That's great. None of them seized in. It looks like it's actually got the narrower spark plugs. So this tool, I'm not sure exactly what tool it's called. I got it for the BMW spark plugs, but it's a slightly different one to the usual small spark plug tool. And hopefully at 59k it's not on the original spark plugs, but it's conceivable depending on who serviced it. Probably being done. Good colour. It says on the box if it's the type with the separate washer, it just needs to be tightened half a turn once it's at the bottom. So you screw the new one in by hand. Until you can feel it at the bottom, so that's touching bottom. And then we're just tightening it quarter, half a turn. And that's it. Same for the other three. Can't believe the gap difference between the new and the old ones. I don't know what's happened. Whether the electrodes were on, or whether they're different completely. Now to replace the coils, got this dielectric grease that I've been using. So I'm using an old spark plug just to put some in the coil on the inside. And it's up to you if you want to put a little bit on the outside, depending on whether it's one of the types of coils that's prone to getting stuck in there. This isn't a grease for the outside, it's more for the connection to the spark plug itself. There are other types of grease that you can get. I think it's supposed to be that way around. Can use a different type of grease on this bit. So I'll do the same with the other three. Refit the intake manifold. Don't forget the pipes that go on the back. To reset the service interval, which I'm hoping works because it isn't due, turn on the ignition and within 5 seconds press and hold the trip counter reset until that's flashing. Release it and press it again, and that resets the service interval. So that's the service completed on the Nissan Cube 1.6. I do hope this video has helped. If it has, please do leave a comment. For more videos on this car and many others, please do check out my channel. Thank you.